Hey, welcome back. It's the Pure Advocates. We're in Minneapolis. First time shooting here. I got a great guest here today. We got a great conversation to talk about. Let's get right into it. Abdisalam, it's my boy right here.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. Another day in paradise.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Shout out to my brother Yusuf for connecting us. That was
sir.
really dope. Yeah, Abdisalam. Yeah, what's going on, bro? How you feeling, man?
Man, I can't complain. Just being busy, running around, try not to have enough time to be bored at the house or anywhere else because too much
Trying to kill
boredom.
idle time.
Exactly. Too much boredom will get you somewhere else. So I'm trying to avoid that by all costs and just working nonstop.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's great to hear, bro. Idle time could cause a lot of distraction. So, Abdisalam, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
Yeah, well, as you're aware, my name is Abdisalam. I moved to Minnesota in, I believe, 2001 or 2. I'm not pretty sure exactly. From Sacramento, California. So moving up here was pretty dramatic changes, man.
You from the Bay Area?
Yep.
That's
So
what's up. That's like 12 hours up from Seattle.
yeah, got kind of close there for sure. But moving up here and then moving straight to Cedar, even crazier because I have not seen that amount of Somali or Ethiopian or East African descendant in that one small area
Right.
with that amount of population. It was a crazy change. I was happy about it and sad and confused at the same time. Reasoning why I have not been interacting with my people like that because in Sacramento it's rare that you run into one of your kind, right, with your similar background or race or religion for that matter. So coming to Minnesota was a big change for me because now I have all these people I can interact with, speak my language with and stuff. And at the same time, you have to try to fit in, right? It's been some time off where I spend time with my own people. So you got to try to fit in.
Right.
As a youngin, it gets a little difficult.
Absolutely. For the viewers that don't know what Cedar is,
Cedar Riverside is a project in South Minneapolis, across the street from downtown Minneapolis,
South Side.
South Side.
That's what's up. Okay. How did you guys make that move, like from the West Coast to Midwest?
Bro, it fell on my lap. My sister, man. It fell
Okay.
on my lap. My sister wanted to go to school here, and she believed in her mind this would be the best opportunity for her is to come here and start a fresh life. And me being young and not growing up with my mom and dad, my sister's like my world, you know? And I couldn't let her go by herself. So kind of stuck to her about that and came here. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for me as well, but it didn't work out like that. Not everything works out the way you plan it to work out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Cedar Riverside. How old were you when you moved there?
I was 13, 14.
Oh, so you were
Yeah,
young.
I was still young. 13 years old.
What was that like? Just on a day-to-day?
Terrible, man. To be honest. First thing, the weather. Like
Right.
literally, I think we came in November, like stepping out the airport with shorts and a white t-shirt in November in Minnesota. I damn near cried because I'm like, you gotta take me back right now. This is not it. This is not it, bro. We live in a freezer, you know?
Right.
So
Because yeah,
that itself was janky for me.
right.
I'm like, I can never adjust to this. But then again, when I went to Cedar and then seeing all my people in the community, the store across the street is owned by the community members. People that use the elevator is the same thing. You can, talk to anybody. It made it a little easier, but at the same time, it was still difficult because I was still trying to figure myself out, right, as a youngin.
Right.
So starting school, hanging out with individuals, one thing led to another. You start off smoking cigarette. Before you know, you're smoking weed, drinking. But in our where we come from, you have to live double life to be able to keep up with that, right? Because at home, you're an angel. You don't do any of that stuff. It's haram, right? It's religious, and you shouldn't be doing any of that, right? The stigma that surround all that. If you have a mental health issue, especially with mental health, you shouldn't speak about it, especially if you're a guy.
Mm,
Meanwhile, Adiskadig is what they tell you, right? You're a dude, man. Chill out. What are you complaining about? What are you whining about? You can tell somebody you're going through a hell of a depression, and 99.9% of the time, the response you get is, man up.
toughen up.
Yeah, toughen up.
Right.
Chill out. What are you complaining about? Knock me at it, You're not a girl.
Right.
Like that matters, mental health doesn't pick gender, right?
Right.
But we have hard time understanding those kind of situations. So I would go out, hang out with my friends, supposedly like the people that I'm looking for friends and love elsewhere except from the house because too much lecture and continuous disappointment, like, comparison, right? Like, why can't you be like such and such? Why can't you be like this person? Or you disappointed, you failed me, all this and put all this effort into you, bringing you here, and yet this is what you're doing. Consistent reminder of
Right.
your failure that kind of pushes you
And that
further
breaks you
away.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And what do I do with no coping skills? I go back out there, smoke weed, drink, break the law.
Right.
because I thought I was welcome there, and
And you were
nobody.
kicked out from home
Oh yeah, all the
because you weren't
time.
accepted.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you're not home by a certain amount of time, don't even bother knocking on the door. Like don't even waste your
Yeah.
energy going up them stairs, man, or the
Right.
elevator. You're wasting your time.
Mom at the door with the
Man,
stick.
see, that's the thing. I didn't grow up with mom and dad. I was raised by my relatives.
Right.
Yep, my sister's the only person that was older than me. Except my sister, I have first cousins, second cousins, aunties and uncles.
Yep. This is something that I've been hearing as of recent. Like people that don't really come here to America with their direct parents tend to fall into trouble and, just chaos like very easily. Do you think it's because families they come with like don't really care? Or do you think it's just like,
I don't want to bash anybody's family members, right? But
yeah,
speaking from my experience, I can say, and the people that I've seen so far, it becomes very difficult because then when you are treated, if you're mistreated, right, or if you're spoken to in certain ways, instead of giving me advice, if you just lecture me, then I'll misinterpret those things, right? Even though majority of the time is good intention, like it's the delivery that kills you.
right.
The intention behind those deliveries is different, but the way the words come out, words hurt, man.
Yeah,
Like you have to be
absolutely.
very careful what you say to people because
Right.
you don't know how that person will be affected by it, whether you meant good or not. So that's where the disconnect comes in, the delivery of how you talk to somebody, especially younger than you, and that you're trying to lead by example. But when you come in frustration, that you take it out on this person. And if you never raised the kid and you're being raised by your relatives and they never had kids, or even if they had kids, you're not the priority, most likely,
Right.
obviously.
They feel like you're like a burden to them because it's like I got to invest time, money into this kid, and this is not even my kid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. And my childhood was wasted on the streets. So I'll share a little on that in a little bit. So at the age of 14, I already started drinking and started smoking weed and skipping school and getting into fights and being affiliated in a gang. I started getting in trouble with the law, right? Like, juvenile here, juvenile there. And when I turned, the years went out like this. I moved out of where I was staying at, and then I moved in with my second cousins. And these are a bunch of 22, 23, 24-year-old young men. You think they give a damn about
Older
what I do
guys.
and how I do it?
Right.
No, that's not, they don't even think like that. Their
Yeah.
mindset is not even like, hey, let's check on him.
Right.
No.
They're probably trying to send you on a mission.
Yeah, so I'm on a different time right now. Like I have nobody to answer to, no curfew, no nothing. I have a key to the apartment. I come and go as I please, bring whoever I want over and do what I want to do. So I'll bring dope into the house, I'll break it down and bag it up inside the house because they can't tell me nothing. And as time goes, I started becoming somebody that I'm not, like this. You start listening to this gangster rap, you portray that image, especially back in those days, which is
Right.
like 2005, 6, 7, you know.
It's even worse now.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah, but that time was a little different. And gang affiliation comes with something else. So one thing led to another. After jail time here, jail time there, when I turned 18, I got involved deeply into the streets. I remember August 14, 2008, me and a couple of my friends were just going somewhere else and we seen opposition, which was, the enemy that supposedly, this man has never done nothing to me, man, personally, you know?
Right.
But because you're my friend and such, right?
Right.
That I feel like you've done something to me, so I should hate you with all my guts. Like I shouldn't have no feeling, no nothing towards you. Like it should be just on sight. So we got out of the car, me and him. We went look for these guys where they were sitting at, and they happened to be a cedar, third floor. And I remember we had our face hitting. I'm speaking about this because it's done and passed behind me, so I learned from that mistake as well. And one thing led to another. Pulled out a firearm, so did my friend, and then we end up shooting all 4 people. And one guy in critical condition, a couple other guys fatally wounded as well, and another guy shot. And we ran away. We got in a car, thinking we got away. So we thinking we in like a movie, Minister Society. We over here like 3 blocks down, wiping the fingerprints and DNA of the gun, and then the whole time is a off-duty cop
Just
that's
watching.
driving by. They just
Yeah.
happen to hear the call on the freaking radio, just watching it.
Wow.
Watching us, and then he
While you guys
decided to,
cleaning-
so he
yeah.
decided to follow us that night, and we get pulled over on the freeway, felony stop. They take us back to the HCMC, the hospital, to be identified if we were the shooter of the
Right.
case, and the guy did identify. Yep, that's the guys.
Mm.
I was in Hennepin County Jail for 2 years fighting my case. I never got a deal because the deal they gave me it sounded ridiculous. It was 600 months. First of all, I've never heard of that many months ever in my life.
Man, how
Like-
many years is that?
That's what I said to the judge.
Can't even do the math off the top
How
of
many
my
years?
head
What are
right
you
now.
talking about? 600. I'm like, what is? How do you even break that down? And we say 50 years. I'm like, no. listen here, I'm not just gonna sit here and say, hand me that. And I feel so bad because reality kicks in every single day, right? Like
Right.
all this conversation, all this pep talk, all this advice people were giving you, ignored it because you thought you're the smartest person in the world. You couldn't get in bigger trouble than what you already have been, right? Like a slap on the wrist here, robbery, assault, weapon, you get out, you bail out, you're good.
Right.
But then this is serious. It took literally maybe 3-4 seconds that night.
That's when dudes wake up.
Yeah, that's when reality kicks in. When he said
500
600
years.
months,
500 months.
man, my knees got
All that
weak a
tough
little
shit
bit.
goes out the window at that point.
Yeah, listen, the
Yeah.
toughness went out when I got the cuffs put on. I'll be upfront
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it,
Right,
And
right.
so after 2 years, finally, I went to trial and I lost my case and I was sentenced to 240 months in a correctional facility in Minnesota.
240 months?
Yep, that's 20 years. At 20, you do probably about 13 years and like 7 months. But I ended up doing 14 years and some change because of my behavior while I was still in there.
You got 6 years off.
Yeah, 6 years on parole.
Oh, so
You do it
yeah,
on parole.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. So if
Okay.
you violate, you're going back in there.
Going back
basically.
in there. Right.
You
Man,
stay
14
property still.
years.
Yep.
That's serious time, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Tell me about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so going there, instead of trying to figure life out, I went in there when I was 19 years old. I wasn't even old enough to go to the club before I went to prison, right?
Right.
I couldn't even buy a drink from the store without an ID
Right.
because I wasn't old enough.
Right.
But that's where I decided to go. The crazy part about this is we are not told those kind of things in a way where you understand. Like if I had somebody that really sat me down and had a conversation with me and made me understand that, I'll probably be a businessman somewhere right now, right?
Yeah,
I'll be successful.
Mhm.
But because of my ignorance and because of the thing that takes place in our community, it's almost impossible that you see that.
Why do you think that is? You think people don't really care?
It's
or,
not that
or
they don't
try
really
to get
care.
involved? Or is it? Yeah.
It's because we kind of go behind the religion thing, right? We're religious people. We don't drink. We don't smoke weed. And if you do, your parents will cover that, right? They'll
Right.
cover it up. Like, don't go talking about this. This is one of the reasons why our people don't go to treatment or speak about mental health. Like
Right.
the name, you embarrassing us, you bringing shame, stigma, all that. Like, right?
Right.
Like your neighbor's kid drink or whatever, they'll suffocate that kid by making sure that he does not talk about it to anybody. It's
Right.
embarrassment. You're embarrassing our name, our legacy. You're ruining us. Why does it have to be about you? This is me who's suffering, right? I'm the one that's going through these things.
Absolutely.
So they make it about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of corners you into something different because then you have no way of expressing yourself. And you feel like when you're hanging out with your friends and you're under this influence of whatever, you get away from it. They do have a saying that says drug is not the problem, right? It's the solution, right?
Right,
The
right.
mental health is the problem.
Mm.
So if we don't
It's a
address,
deeper issue.
yes, it's
Yeah.
deeper than that. Yeah, I was just talking about some similar conversation that we're having right now. A youth event on Saturday morning, and on a podcast, somebody asked me a similar question like that, and I told her, you have to look at it this way. What would make a human being take a chance of him dying, right? Of these pills that they do these days. Like, those are 50-50 chance you might die
Right.
when you do it.
Russian
So,
roulette.
yes.
Mhm.
So what would make a person take that type of chances just to get high? You don't think it's deeper than just him trying to have fun? Because there's no fun. Being homeless is not fun, bro.
No.
Being broke is not fun.
No.
Right? Sleeping underneath the bridges and all that, that's not fun. I don't see that and nobody sees that as a fun lifestyle. It's difficult. Instead of looking into that a little deeper, it's look what you're doing. You degraded yourself, you're doing this, blah, blah. How you think that person that's going through that kind of struggle interpret what you're saying to them? Most definitely not in a positive way, right?
No.
Or they
definitely
giving
not.
me advice. No, they're yelling at me, they're degrading me, they're belittling me, they're making me feel like shit already.
Right.
That's how it's being looked at. And it won't be fair to the individual that's having this trouble if we don't address the mental health first. And I think it's very important that we do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree. What's the Somali population in Minnesota, you think, 2026?
In Minnesota or
Yeah.
in Minneapolis?
No, like all of Minnesota.
At least 100,000, man.
Damn, I thought it was over like 500.
No, it can't be that much. They
Really?
moving out, man. People are moving out of Minneapolis right now.
Oh, okay.
But in the whole Minnesota, maybe 140. at
What's the
I would
most
say.
it's ever been, do you think?
They now,
Now?
yeah. It can't be 500,000.
'Cause I know this is about
Minnesota is only
30
like 3 million in general. That's
Yeah,
population
you're
wise.
right, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, but the reason why I was saying this mental health situation is that when I came home from prison, so back to what I was talking about, the prison. The whole time that I was in there, instead of trying to change my ways, I got deeper into using in prison, gang activity,
How did you get like introduced to using, and like how far did you get down?
drugs-wise, before I went to prison.
Yeah.
Before I went to, my cousin May, rest in peace, he passed away, smoking cigarette with him and
nice.
smoking weed.
Okay.
Smoking weed little by little. Back when I was out at that time, at least in my time, there wasn't no fentanyl being used in the streets.
Right.
People were not using meth like that. It was crack cocaine and weed and alcohol and ecstasy pills. So Molly and all that came on down the line where it became very big. People are doing it nonstop right now.
Right.
But yeah, one thing led to another, weed, and I started drinking and doing ecstasy pills here and there. But even weed itself, we always say we overlook it, right? Yeah, because you can get it for medical marijuana and all that. Now you can go to the shop and buy some. So
It's the gateway drug.
yeah, it's the gateway drug, and that messes everything up. Curfew, like I said, I can't go back home on time because I'm too busy. You lose track of time, you're getting high and all that. That's how I got into it. But I didn't know I had a mental health issue aside. So co-occurring disorder was happening to me without even me knowing about it. In my household, I've never heard anybody talk about their mental health back then. I didn't know I had a mental health issue back then until down the line. Like after I was incarcerated, almost coming home, started being diagnosed with things because I finally started talking to somebody about it. That's how I found out. But that didn't prepare you. It doesn't prepare you for anything, though. Even then, I understood a little bit at that time. So when I was released April 25th, 2022 from prison, came home, I was happy to be home, I was so excited.
Before you get into that, you did 14 years in prison.
Yep.
How was that like growing in as like a teenager?
I would feel like I was born and raised in there. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know nothing. Like there was no way in hell that when I first came home that I was able to hold a conversation with you more than a minute at the most.
Right.
Like what are we talking about?
After you came out or before you?
After. Like
Yeah,
it's just not possible.
Right.
People say you don't get institutionalized, but you do.
Right.
Because all you know is that. Sometimes I used to have bells ringing in my head because it's count time. That bell consistently,
It's like
it's
a reminder.
embedded in your brain. You
Right.
know? You just hear randomly like, what's going on? Do I need to stand by my room and what? Is there a
Right.
CO coming by?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hectic.
Did they put you amongst like men or was like?
No, I was 19.
juvenile?
I was an adult. I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Yep, I was an adult. I was 19 years old, so I was pool with adults.
Okay.
I was in a Stillwater Correctional Facility for about, I think, almost 2 years before I was shipped to Oak Park Heights, which is Supermax Level 5, and that's the maximum prison that we have. I was there for a year, and then on good behavior, I got shipped out of there to medium custody, and the medium custody was a little out of my way. Like, I just couldn't do it the way people talk to each other. By now, I did 4 years already.
Right.
So, like, I was not trying to have anything. Like, you just couldn't talk to me in any kind of way and thinking it's okay, right? There's certain level of respect that you have to give somebody else as a man. And boundaries are very tighter than society is. So there was a CO, she told me, hey, you got to go in a room. And I'm like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to act up so I can get sent back to the maximum because that's where I can do my time. When she said that, I gave her a reason to call for back. I'm like, shut up before I beat your ass and escape this pressure. That's all it took. And she hit the button on me. They came in like 20 deep. It was going on like whatever she said, that's exactly what happened. So they put me in a hole for 90 days and shipped me back to Stillwater, where I did the remainder
The hall
of my
is like
time.
where your lights
Segregation.
out.
Yep, 23 and 1.
23 and 1. Yeah. Explain that. What was that like?
Dude, it's terrible.
Yeah, for the young guys that's watching.
What I say is
it's like-
terrible is just imagine you're locked in a bathroom with none of those amenities in there. Just a sink and a flat. Your bathtub can be a bed, that's it.
Yeah.
You in the sink, nothing else in the door.
Damn.
23 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then the other 2 days is 24 hours. You're not coming out of that room. You're not going anywhere. There's no TV, there's nothing. You're stuck in there. So now you
That is
really get to
crazy. I
reflect.
can't even. I'm
You
trying to
start
process
reflecting.
that.
You start, you start thinking about. And the crazy thing about that, in June something, I forgot the exact date. President Obama at that time passed a law that you cannot incarcerate somebody in segregation for more than 90 days.
Right.
And this happened to me 3 days after I was segregation from Stillwater for something else, and they gave me 6 months in the hole. And I did an appeal, like, hey, I just seen the law just got passed out. What's going on? They're like, yeah, that's before. That's after the law was passed after you went to segregation before, so that doesn't count towards you.
Right.
So they made me execute my 6 months in segregation, which is terrible.
Damn.
It's terrible, man. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, bro. Like, you think you're mentally strong enough to take it.
Yeah.
But like, I used to talk to myself. I used to tell myself stories. I wake up in the morning, make a cup of coffee, and literally pace from the end of this wall to the door and tell myself story. Like what I'm going to do when I get out, what I did. Yeah, talk to myself. Like I had 3 friends in there with me, which is all me. Me, myself, and I. And nobody can prepare you for that. I can say that. There's nothing I can tell you. Like, by all means necessary, avoid going to prison. Avoid hanging out with individuals that mislead you, thinking that this thug life or whatever they talking about,
Right.
sagging pants and carrying a gun and all that.
And the craziest part is like, you know, a lot of these younger guys, they get influenced by the rappers,
Yeah.
right? These rappers, they're signed to record labels.
Look at this
And then
rappers
the
now. Look at Lil
owners,
Durk.
yeah,
Where is he at?
yeah, right? That's a
No, I'm
prime
not trying to throw
example.
shade on anybody, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but that's the final destination of every street gangster rapper.
That's,
No gangster ever makes it
no.
alive or clean without suffering
Yep.
in life. You know what I mean?
You know, there was a guy who was leaving the treatment center, and I asked him like, "Hey, listen, you name me one person that's a gangster or a drug dealer or whatever, right? That retired from what they were doing, life of crime, has a house on the hill with kids and family, and is just chilling, and he's on his patio right now drinking a cold iced tea,
Right.
and I
You'll
quit
never
my job
find
and get on with that. You tell me
Yeah.
that they can. I said the biggest drug dealer in the world is in New York prison right now.
Right.
There's none. When
Yeah,
they
it's
say
temporary pleasure
yeah,
for
when
a lifetime of punishment.
exactly. When
Yeah.
they say it's two options out, either you're dead or you're in prison, those are actual facts.
Right.
If graduating the street for me was going to prison, then I have a degree in that, which doesn't get you no jobs. I can tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I graduated
And
the
even
street,
that degree you get in jail don't really count towards
man,
real life.
hell no.
You know what I mean?
You're done.
Maybe a little bit of education you get in jail, but outside of that, it's like,
You're done.
and this is why, like, it's very important, like, you know, before you start, you know, believing a rapper or entertainer, you know what I mean? You just have to look at the numbers and, you know,
Yep.
who, like, everybody has a manager, everybody's signed to somebody, right?
Yep.
And so, what a lot of these guys, especially young guys, don't know is like these record labels, the owners and the CEOs, right?
Yep.
Same people that are signing these rappers to push this hatred, self-hate, violence, drug use into, you know, many of the urban communities across the United States are the same people who own the prisons and the, you know, industrial complex. And it's like, if you're thinking about it, you know, in a way where you're an entrepreneur, it's like a return on investment, right? So
It's a stock,
you
man.
invest here, boom, now that money moves over there, and now that money is like a stock.
Yeah, it's a stock. It's all
Yeah. So
profit.
you're an investment for somebody's profit,
100%.
right?
We just don't see it like that, but if you look into it, it is. It's a fact.
Yeah.
I believe all the judges and like prosecutors and stuff, the majority of the investment is prison, DOC.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Before you jump in the streets, before you want to be a gangster rapper, before you want to get into any of that, go do some research, look at the numbers, look at the stocks, look at who owns what, and that'll give you the answer whether you should do it or not. Simple as that, you know?
100%.
And that's like the biggest issue.
I think majority of youth right now is they misinterpret a lot of things and misuse a lot of words. And sorry to go off the script a little bit, but that I asked a couple guys, you know, I'm a program manager at one of our houses. So I always talk to the guys and I asked, you know, as a joke who was talking and then he said, "You're not a real nigga." And I said, "Tell me your definition of a real nigga. You please explain it to me, enlighten me, because maybe I'm confused or I'm misunderstanding what you're saying by that." I said, "You think me carrying a gun and walking around makes me that?"
Right.
You know, I said, "Anybody can shoot anybody, right?" I said, "That's the easy way out. You want to sell drugs, that's the easy way out because you can't handle what a real man can do, which is go and get a freaking job, right? And be responsible and take care of your duties, which is what you're supposed to do. But you running away from home and thinking like you want to be somebody that's earning money for what they do, this is their job. That's him working. You just thinking that it's him and standing on the corner selling drugs. No, this is him working. It's a video that they paid for. They shooting this music video. This is all business transaction that's taking place.
Right.
But what is yours? You're taking a risk of doing some selfish, stupid thing that you have no idea what it's going to get you.
Right.
Like, you must understand that.
Yeah, I think just like, you know, one thing in our community and many other communities that I noticed, like just in the last 20, 25 years, is that things change, right? Like 20 years ago, we didn't have the technology that we have today.
Yeah.
20 years ago, we didn't have the drugs that we have available today.
Yeah.
And so 20 years ago, you could just tell your kid, hey, go to Dixie, go to college, go to school, you know, get married, take the right path, and he'll do it, right? And there's not too much distraction.
Yeah.
In 2026, like you have to look at all the thing that's out, all the stuff that's out there, right?
Yep.
All the distractions, technology, video games, gangster rappers, music, and you know, movies, you know, all these agendas going on, right? Like the parents, right? what you were doing 20 years ago to discipline your kid is not going to work at all. It's not going to work, right? Because now you got 10 to 20 things that's, temptations that are coming at your kids on a daily basis. And if you think just going to Dixie and sending them off to an education system is going to be the only form of discipline, you are in trouble, right? In this moment of time, this is where, we have to get really serious about, investing into our kids, even though, it could cost a little bit, right? But saving some money and investing into your kids, this is a time for that, right? This is a time to be around your kids a lot more,
Yeah.
monitoring your kids, right? Not giving them access to high level technology at a young age and exposing them to things that, could potentially, take them off grid, right? Not only that, just, getting like figuring out what they like, right? That's
Yeah.
all it really comes down to. What does your kid like? Because does he like video games? Does he like, reading books? Does he like playing sports? Does he like, just being creative, like building apps? Like figure out whatever it is that they like and, just invest into that and keep them distracted, right? And have them work towards that every single day, right? Because if the day that you take off, he's on Instagram scrolling.
That's for sure.
There's another rapper that's showing him what
Yep.
he's doing in his hood.
Thinking it's fun.
And it's like, wow, I'm over here reading a book. This guy's over here
Doing this.
letting the gun off, and you know what I mean. So
bad.
it's and then attention span is like it was like 3 seconds a couple years ago. Now it's like less than a second.
If that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's how much it's affecting our brains. Just imagine, what it's doing to a kid that his brain is not even 30-40% developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, I think, especially in our community, I keep saying, our community, not to segregate anybody, because
is
we
all
have the way,
communities
yeah,
right
the
now
way
at
we
this
grew
point.
up, right? The way we grew up is, if you're young, don't be around adults, right? Like, there's
Right.
no relationship, there's no bond between parents and kids, right?
Right.
Like, grown folks talking, get out of here. It kind of wave you off. You're not building a relationship. You're kind of isolating the child already. You're building up to isolate the person.
Right.
That's one of the thing that I think we should be working on. We have this event, not event, like through a Zoom that we do a class once a month in Alliance. So we invite all parents, father, mother, whatever. We talk about this thing, mental health, isolation, where you should communicate with your child, and on. Because they need to be educated, because I believe our parents, at least for that generation, they only know what they were told, right, exposed to, right? That's it. Like, they don't know anything, so they put in their trauma on us without even knowing.
Right.
Because of what they come from, right? War-torn country. They came from a war zone, and all the refugee camp and all this. This is all trauma. So all this trauma is being passed down to us without even being aware of it, and it kind of kills us at the end, because now we carrying on this trauma that was passed out to us, and you can pass, generational trauma. I believe that's the right term for it. And if we don't put an end to it, it will continue going on and on. That's it. Like, it won't stop.
No, and that's the thing is like our parents didn't heal. You know what I mean?
No.
Our parents didn't heal, and then the way they raised us had an effect on us, right? It's
Yeah, for
like
sure.
instead of communication and support and love, and it's beat, hit,
Yep.
yell, put downs, and so now that kid is growing up with, this is what my parents think of me, so they low self confidence, running away from the house, not wanting to be home because it's like I come here and it's like I gotta hear this all day. I gotta, it's like people, and it's not just men. Like most people, like enjoy places of peace. Like you know what I mean? Like that's home, right? Like when you come home, like that's supposed to be your place of peace.
Yes, 100%.
If it's a place of chaos, you don't want to be there, right?
No, hell
Yeah,
no.
so-
That's what I used to run away from.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier about when I got released, right? April 25th, 2022. I come home, I was the happiest person in the world. My PO come see me, like, she's like, "Hey, you have 90 days to get a job, or else you'll be in violation of your condition, and you're going back to prison." So
So if you don't get a job, you go back to prison.
yeah, for sure, you're violating your parole.
What kind of shit? What kind of stuff is that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was still part of the state property, right?
Right.
It's another way of wheeling you back in.
And it's
So-
not this is not the rap group.
Yeah, I swear. So I went to this program for construction, 6-week program. If you graduate, they'll guarantee you a job in a construction.
Right.
So I went there for 6 weeks with no pay. I used to take the train over there because I still didn't get my license yet. And finally, I graduated. I got hired on by a company called Redstone Construction. Twin brothers that own a company. And I was so excited, man, to work. Like I'm talking about, I used to work for 50 cents and $1 in prison. These people are talking about paying me $28 an hour. I'm like, well, run that, man. I do overtime, all that. I say, you can call me on a Sunday if you want. I don't care
I'll work
about the
on a
NFL game.
holiday.
Yeah, there's no holiday where I come from. I'm gonna work every
Yeah.
day if you want
Like
me to.
on a,
I
yeah.
was so excited. So this excitement faded quick because once I start working, start earning money, I bought a brand new car, had a nice job basically, right? I'm home, I'm free. And I started getting depressed, my mental health, and isolating myself, and nobody will catch on to that. So I complained to my loved ones. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm depressed. I'm struggling. And the feedback, that's why I was saying this earlier, the feedback I kept getting is, you're out of prison, you're free, you have money, you have a job, you have a brand new car. What are you complaining about?
Right.
Like, just chill out. Read Quran. I'm like, that's not that simple. You guys are confusing stress and depression. It's not the same thing. So I got tired of getting those feedback and I just shut down. I didn't want to talk to them anymore about it. What I do, go self-medicate. I went back, I relapsed, I started using cocaine again. And now I got to hide this habit, right? Now
Oh,
again, I'm back
this is
to,
when you got out.
yeah.
This is
So
when-
now I'm back to where I'm playing two different persons, right? I'm this person at home. And then as soon as I walk out of there, I'm somebody else. Not only that, I start doing things that I wasn't doing for the past 3-4 months, right? Which is, I'll be right back because I gotta, I'll be right back. Leaving the house, go drive a couple blocks down, and then I'll get high, and then I come right back.
Right.
I'll be back. Oh yeah, I gotta go somewhere. Making up these stories, and then I finally came with this story that I told my sister that I have to move out of the house because my PO saying I'll go back to prison if I don't move out of the house and get my own place. This is all bullshit. I just made it up.
Right.
Because my habits got to me. Now I'm drinking,
bad.
and I can't go home smelling like alcohol. They're gonna say you messed up, and I know a lot of people probably already expected me to fail.
Right.
There was a lot of people in my family was already expecting that. Like, yeah, this guy, he's not gonna last. He's been a fuck up his whole life.
Right.
So my sister panics, like, oh, you want me to get you on a private? I'm like, no, I already found one. I already put the deposit down. I'm moving downtown Minneapolis. I'm moving in there. I moved out of there. My life went down the hill. Party every night. Don't come home. I stopped
You're still
missing.
working at this time.
Yeah, I stopped missing work. No
Yeah.
call, no show. And they got tired of me. I got fired. I lost my job basically. And now the apartment, I gave up my apartment.
Yeah.
I have my car. And I started acting up again, scam and all that. And then one day I got pulled over. They had to work for my arrest because I haven't been talking to my PO. I haven't been doing drug tests and all that. And I got arrested. And I went to the parole board and they gave me 90 days back in prison. And I'm so thankful that I even got arrested that day because if I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here. So when I went back to prison, like I think maybe a month into my sentence, out of the 90 days I was supposed to do, a CO came knocked on my door and he said, hey, you got a phone call, which is strange. Nobody calls you in prison. Like, what do you mean I got a phone call? It's like, yeah, somebody called you, I want to talk to you, come outside. So I go and get on the phone, and he happened to be Yusuf Shafi on the phone.
Shout out to Yusuf
Yeah.
Shafi, man.
Yeah,
He's a
man,
good
big
brother
time,
out of
man.
Minneapolis.
Yep.
Saving a lot of lives, doing a lot of great work, man.
Yeah, I love him to death, man. That man. So I got on the phone with him and he told me about his program and he said, I read your story and I'm very interested in you bringing you here. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I start selling myself to this guy like a job interview, man. I tell this man like how many languages I speak, what I can do this, I can do that. And it wasn't even necessary, but that's how much I needed change. I was crying out for help. And when he got done explaining everything to me, it's like, hey, I spoke to your PO already prior to even calling you. He said, you can only go to Hennepin County. I have a house I just purchased in in Eden Prairie. And I opened the house on the 27th. Your out date is the 29th, January. I'm going to get you in there. I'm like, say less. I'm ready.
Right.
So I go and talk to my PO the next day and my counselor over there. And they're like, you don't need no treatment. You're good. Just go back home. We get released. They was trying to push me away from all that. I wasn't having it. So when my out date came, I got picked up by my PO because I'm still on ISR, so nobody else is allowed to pick me up. Got dropped off at Bloomington. I told them this is the location, this is where I want to go. They dropped me off, they uncuffed me, like, peace out. All right, peace out. I went in there. I met one of my best friends right now, Thomas Tucker, most awesome person.
At the recovery.
Yep, he was a counselor there, and I met him, and I did the intake. I started going there. At first, I had doubts once I started going in the group, and the thing that I was saying, it wasn't registering because I just wanted to leave, right?
Right.
I wasn't fully committed also. So I'm like, let me give these people a chance. And then I just talking to myself basically, like these guys are telling me what I already know. I know all these things they're telling me. I'm just not utilizing them in the right manner, right? I'm not using them, but they telling me nothing new. So I still had that crazy mentality of thinking that I knew it all. I got life figured out. But if I had life figured out and I knew it all, like majority of us say at that age, is that why am I not successful, right? Why am I still doing the same old thing? Why am I keep living my life on autopilot over and over and over and over, watching the same movie basically? And I kept giving them a chance. 1 week turned into a month turned into 2, 3, and I didn't want to graduate. I refused to graduate. I did 6 months. I refused to graduate.
Why? Why'd you refuse?
I didn't because I spent majority of my life at that time with criminal thinking, like always plotting on things,
Yeah.
game banging, getting high and getting drunk. What is 6 months going to do for me? How am I going to change my whole life around in 6 months worth? And I've been doing this for years, over
Right.
a decade.
Right.
How
So
is
you
that
feel like
possible?
you needed like more time.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'm ready, man. Like,
Right.
if I leave right now, I'll fuck up,
Yeah.
And I'm glad because I knew myself that much that I really
You
wanted
had
to stay
you
there.
had discipline.
Yeah.
You had discipline to know that
Yep.
if you got out too early, that
Yeah.
you won't survive.
Yep. And I wasn't doing my treatment for anybody. Majority of us that go there, they do it for their parents. So once you get done impressing your parents, and then what's left? There's
Right.
nothing left. You're
And
gonna go
you
right
didn't
back.
you didn't grow up with your parents.
No,
So
I'm
you're
saying my
like, man,
family. Yeah, I just
yeah. So it
I
was
need
just
it
you.
for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Not for anybody. So I did a whole year in 1 day before I graduated.
Yeah.
I graduated. A lot of people came there. I still have the video somewhere, but I remember during my graduation, I could not speak because I was crying the whole time. Like, I could not speak. I could not get that one word out. And my exact word I got out, I think, was like, "Fuck you guys, man. I'm not gonna be. I can't talk. I ain't gonna get it out. Like, I love you guys and fuck off." I just couldn't get it out. Like,
Yeah.
it was so personal to me.
Right.
Like, I put all this effort and I couldn't let that go to waste. Right now, I have to. The harder part starts today, which is
Yeah.
I have to maintain this sobriety. I have to maintain what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
have to start setting short-term goal, long-term goal.
Yep.
I have to succeed. There's no way in hell I just wasted a year and 1 day in a place that is
Prepare you for that.
exactly, and then just throw all the tools that I learned and everything that I picked up out of here out the window. There's no way. So it was my thing, and then my goal, through all this process, is I put so much nonsense into my community. Like, I harm my community in so many ways that I have to give back to my community.
Yeah.
So I do outreach. Before I even got hired as a community outreach program coordinator for Alliance, Yusuf hired me actually the same day I graduated. He hired me as a maintenance.
MashaAllah. How long ago was
yeah,
that?
he hired me. Huh?
How long ago was that?
That was 2020. Was it 4? I believe 4 or 5. 2025.
Oh, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or last year.
Yeah, 2025. Yeah,
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is like 5, 7 years ago. This is recent.
Yeah, so yeah,
Mashallah.
that man gave me a car.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me a Ford F-150, the one that's parked out there. He's like, "Go here."
Yeah.
He said, "You got a job as a maintenance. What's up?" I'm like, "Who you telling me?" Yeah, of course.
Come on.
I've been telling you I want to be part of this family, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And the trust, the faith that he had in me, it meant a lot to me. That gave me that much more motivation. Like, there are people out there who cares about you, bro. Like, they care about your success, that they're willing to do this. Because nobody would just willingly do shit like that for you. It just doesn't happen, right? It's rare if it does. So I worked as a maintenance. I still do maintenance work right now. And then I got put on as alumni group program manager to watch after the guys that graduated because we have sober living, which I kept pushing, and I'll still do outreach. Like, every Saturday, we feed about 150 people South Minneapolis, that we go and pass out food, like hot meals, Narcans, hygiene, and necessities like that, and information. Talk to people, put your arm around somebody, be like, "Hey, you're not alone in this.
Right.
We got you," because that's what's missing. The relationship in our community is what's missing, because usually, you know what I'm talking about. That if you dress, messy clothes, you're homeless and you're going through some type of addiction, and you're walking straight, and then your own people from your community, when they see you, they're not gonna walk straight by you. They'll cross the street. 'Cause I don't want to be associated with you. Min mahad, look at you, you're disgrace. That's how we look at our people.
Yeah, that's sad, bro.
Like, that alone itself mess somebody up, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, and that's what I'm trying to build back in our community. Like, so I do this outreach almost regular outreach. I do Wednesday and Friday. We go and pass out Narcans and just talk to our community. Build a connection with people, be familiar with individuals that's out there. And Saturday we feed about 150 people, like I said, and I go to events and I make sure the words get out. Like, we're here for you. I don't care what the next man or the last man said to you, but we can help you if you ever
Absolutely.
need help. And that's what we need in our community. Address the mental health. Don't just
Being
jump to conclusion.
proactive
Like,
and
yep.
getting involved in. I was gonna ask you, what are you guys doing to like reduce the stigma? Like we spoke about earlier. Like the parents.
Education. We're educating the parents,
Okay.
not just the youth directly, because who comes in contact with the kids first? The parents, right? It
Right.
starts at home,
Mm-hmm.
nowhere else, because that's who has the most opportunity with them, right? We address it with the parents, like, hey, it's not necessary that you do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
If you have been doing it that way, it's obvious you see it's not working, right? And you're having trouble. Switch it up.
What's their reaction? I mean, how like
I mean, you would always gonna get good and bad, right?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And majority of the time, we're getting good reviews right now. Actually, we're getting good communication back from them, because prior to probably a year ago, it's been like, don't tell me how to raise my kids. Like, you don't know
Yeah.
nothing, man. My kid doesn't do that. They'll hide it. My kid doesn't do that.
Right.
My kid is not like that.
Right.
Yeah, right. I know your kid. I was just out there with him yesterday. I spoke to him. How you gonna tell me that? But they hide it because
It's
they
the
don't
pride
want
and
that
ego,
name.
man. It's
That
the
ego
pride
and
and
that name,
ego.
man. That name. Like,
Yeah.
you embarrassing our
Mm-hmm.
our tribe.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
embarrassing this.
Yeah.
So you want your kid to die suffering because of your embarrassment? Like I said, they make it about them. It's not about
Of
them.
your ego
Yeah.
and your pride. That
It's so
doesn't mean
it's-
anything when they die.
no. You had the opportunity to save the person, but you
Mm-hmm.
ignored it because of your ego, like you said.
Right.
Because what the next person may say about you and your child, who gives a damn?
Right.
If they get paid to talk about it, well, let them do a podcast, right?
Absolutely.
Let
Absolutely.
them do that. Yeah, go
Yeah,
do that.
and that's what they do. Some of them like, and that's the thing is like a lot of youth that are suffering and using, a lot of times they're crying out for help,
Yep.
and the parents don't understand
They
it.
don't even see it.
Yeah, they don't see it. They don't understand it.
So we
You know.
kind of educate them on the signs to look for, like when
Yeah.
you think your kid is, hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Right.
They start coming on late, and they start coming out with nothing but excuses,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And every month we have about the crowd. The group is getting bigger. I think last month when we did it was like 25, 30 people. And when I go to events, which I do a lot of, like I said today, I was just there, right? And I make sure that message is passed on. Like, I speak about it.
Right.
It's been nothing but good review though.
You guys do like big events here for like addiction and recovery?
Oh, you in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. Huge. Like, we
Okay.
got June 18 and June 19 at the Capitol. It's gonna be probably over 1,000 people there. Well over 1,000 people. Every
Wow.
program that come there.
Wow.
Yep. It's huge, man.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I'm glad you guys are doing the work, man. And shout out to you guys because this is like something that's like very important, but it's also very new, right? Like
Yeah.
this in the 80s and 90s, drugs were around.
Yep.
And it looked disgusting. Like
Yep.
nobody wanted to do it. Like, you seen people doing it and what they look like.
Reagan era, man. Just say
Yeah.
no to drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it was crack cocaine back in the days, man. It was like it looked disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
Not that I know too much about it, but just
Yep.
seeing it online through music videos and
Yeah.
stuff like
Nobody was interested in that.
Now it's just like putting on some
The most attractive thing, right?
just putting on some Louis Vuitton kicks and like little, you know what I mean?
You're not lying about
Putting
that, man.
putting that
They turn it into a fashion.
yeah, it's
and-
it's literally designer now, you
Yeah,
know, and
It's sad, man. It's sad that
Yeah.
a couple of days ago, I was handing out some meals, so I had my truck full of food in the back, and I stopped at the stop sign. A young Somali girl walked up to me like, "Hey, you want a date?" I'm like, "What the what?" Skin, and she looked terrible, but I felt so bad when they got like,
She
my
said-
heart,
she said, what did she say?
You want a date?
You want a date?
Yeah.
Like she's like trying to
Yeah.
date you? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
My
okay,
heart
okay.
dropped, bro. Like, I felt pain. Like I'm
Mm.
like, "Hey, you hungry, man?"
Yeah.
So literally in the middle of the street at the stop sign, I got out. There's a police behind me too. I got out.
yeah.
I gave her some food, water,
Yeah.
and I made sure she got some Narcan. I had extra backpack in the car. I put some stuff in there for her. I'm like, "Hey, listen, man,
Yeah.
take my card. Call me if you need anything. But we can get you somewhere where you can change your life around.
Right.
You don't have to do it like this. It's not necessary."
Right.
So in my head, as I'm driving away, I'm thinking that like the parents,
Mm-hmm.
like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, it's tough, bro. It's really sad. But a lot of people have, one of the biggest issues is like for people using is like they think that they'll never be able to quit. Like there's nothing that can get in the way of them stopping the addiction.
Yep.
So when you were in that position to where you had to like go through the withdrawals and then finally when you got to the other side
Yeah.
and you were able to maintain that discipline of staying away and the temptations and like what was that like? And is there hope,
See,
right?
I didn't experience withdrawal, that at least the kind that people that do fentanyl and go through, right? Because
Yeah.
my DOC was cocaine, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but the craving is still there, right? Because you're down, there's no energy, because you're so used to uplifting your energy and all that by getting high.
Your dopamine relies on that.
Exactly.
Right.
With that, I looked at it like I was so happy when I came home, and then when that happened, I started using again. Then, like I proved everybody's point that they didn't believe in me.
Right.
I proved their point. They're like, yeah, we knew you wasn't gonna be shit,
Mm.
right? Without verbally saying it, of course, they wouldn't dare address that to me.
Right.
But just you can read people, you can read situations. There's people that when you see, they excited to see you. Oh, what's up, man? But then that's where it stops at. They'll never reach out to you,
Right.
even though you're going through this in life, right? So that gave me a wake up call. Like I can never rely on anybody, and I cannot say, "Oh, they didn't help me," and point finger. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I know now, I figured out I have an issue. I figured the issue. I have an issue, which is my addiction, right? It's the problem, and it's
Right.
the cause of all this craziness in my life. Let's go do something about it. And when I was offered that opportunity by Yusuf Shafi, I jumped on it and I did something about it. And I'm not one of those people that say, I can do it. I told you so to your face, right? But I'm gonna look at the camera and say, I told you so for those who didn't believe in me.
And let them know, right?
Yeah, I told you so. I can do it. It's not that everybody needs somebody at some point in life, but at the same time, I went and surrounded myself with the people that didn't judge me and didn't isolate me and show me the right way, and talk to me like a human and say, yes, you can. We're here to help you and we're here to guide you through that process. And I'm grateful for that. Very
Mashallah.
grateful for that.
Yeah, mashallah, man. I'm really proud of you, bro. You've been through a lot, and Allah has given you many chances because, obviously, what they say in Islam is, Ilahi, he tests the people that he loves the most, right? And it's all trials and tribulations, and you've overcome a lot, and you are like the prime example right now for anybody who's watching, thinking that, like, I got 2 years, that I got to do in jail, or I'm suffering, from this addiction of, whatever drug it is, and I don't think I can get over it, or I don't have any support. I don't have family. I don't have any friends in my corner, and everybody's kind of wanting me to fail. My back is against the wall. Abdisalam is right here on camera, letting you know that without any of that, any support, any family, any love, without even growing up with his parents, that he's done it. You don't need the entire world to save you. God is always going to send one person, right? But you have to pay attention. And that one person can literally change your life, right?
100%.
And that goes across the board for everything, right?
Yeah.
Addiction, business, education, faith, anything. It's always, you only need one person to ever win in life. You don't need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
No.
It's God's always going to send you one genuine person. And that one person is going to get you over the hump.
And then you gotta believe in yourself. Like
Yeah.
nobody has to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself and you can do it, can nobody stop you doing anything, bro?
Abdisalam, man, appreciate you coming on, brother, man. Grateful that we connected. Good brother here in Minnesota doing great work. Shout out to my brother Yusuf for connecting us. Before we get out of here, what's a message that you have for parents who have kids who are, suffering from addiction, and anybody that's out there, women, men, youth, that are struggling, that need words of encouragement?
Yeah, regardless man or female, right? I would say to the parents, please, please, whatever you do, don't always jump to conclusion with your child, right? Try to build a relationship, a healthy relationship. Don't always be judgmental about what they're doing. See what seems to be the problem. Where is this problem coming from? How did it start? How can I help? Those type of words, not just why you doing this, because those are negative talk and usually it will drive your child away from you. It will make sure that they'll get isolated from you. But please, whatever you do, advise, speak, build a nice, healthy relationship with your child. It's very important that you do that.
To all the viewers out there, thank you guys so much for all the support that we've been getting from the last few episodes. We plan on continuing doing this work as this is a vital situation in our community. Make sure you like, subscribe. We're on TikTok, YouTube. Help us get all of this message out there in the world. This is very well needed. This is a very big deal. And yeah, so this episode will drop soon. Shout out to my boy Abdisalam. Shout out to my guy Yusuf out here in Minneapolis. Yeah, and we out. If you haven't already, go to YouTube, type in Pure Advocates, like, subscribe, share. Please help us get this message across. This is something that, we're working on to bring awareness and try to reduce the stigma in our community. It's been it's well overdue. So really appreciate you guys for watching it and subscribing and all that.